Hello, everyone. Dr. Kara of KH Evolution, and I have some messages coming through that I'm being urged to share. So I wanted to make this video for you. So one of the things that I've been talking about and is very real and happening to every client actually that I'm working with at the moment, and also myself, is that a lot of our ancestral woundings are showing up in front of us and in our lives in one way or another. And it's creating kind of a revisitation of trauma, and many of us are discovering things about family members that we never knew before. So lots of things kind of coming to light. And the message is really around this. It's around seeing our ancestors, seeing our loved ones, whether alive or past, as through a different lens. So many times when we have particularly very serious woundings and difficult circumstances, it could be the examples my guides are giving me are like alcoholism or abuse on any level. It creates this really difficult conflict within us. And I want you to try to stay with me for just a moment and perceive the emotion, but try not to go into the emotion if I'm speaking to you directly. And so as we are experiencing this trauma, or particularly when we first learn about something that happened to us or something that we experienced, and all of a sudden we see it through the lens of something that we need to heal, something that needs to be corrected, particularly if it's a wounding that was created by a loved one, let's say abuse. It's very difficult for us, particularly if they're family or someone we've loved or looked up to separate that person. Right? There is deep, deep conflict within us. There is that polarity that I speak of from time to time that happens within us, where we struggle to resolve the conflict because we have this devotion or this feel of need to love the person because they are family or we have looked up to them. And then we feel the deep need and desire for the truth to come out and for people to face the consequences of their actions. And so while all of this is true, and I don't want to necessarily speak to how anyone should go about doing this, that's not what the video is about. The video is about a message from Spirit, trying to help us identify the deep crevice that the wounding creates within us of polarity between our desire to be a good person and our desire to hold someone accountable, and both of those things kind of need to weave in together to create healing. Typically, every situation is different, but often what happens is we get stuck on many of the ideas or thoughts that come forward around how could a family member do this? What provoked someone to create so much pain and suffering in another human being? And so we have this conflict within us around how do we go beyond the stain or the blemish of having this frequency in our family or this person in our family or in our circle, when they have such low vibrational experiences that they're bringing to the world. And so, again, we can go in many directions with this, but the thing that Spirit wants us to be aware of right now is how that division of supposed to act or supposed to be creates a block or a barrier to our own healing. And so instead, they're giving us the medicine or the message or the courage to go deep within and really feel those feelings and experience those emotions, and then to process those emotions in meditation or journaling or walks in nature or talk therapy or through energy healing, and to release them in that way through fire ceremony, one of my favorite ways to release, because while we are struggling with how do we move beyond this, and we end up putting a lot of energy and a lot of emphasis into the person who caused the betrayal or caused the wounding or actually took the action of the abuse, so the abuser. And when we put the energy into the abuser, it pulls energy away from our healing process. It pulls the energy away from our own ability to become whole and to expand our light. So the message, again, from Spirit is to, as these come up, to be loving and compassionate to yourself. And in that process of being loving and compassionate, really ask yourself the question, what needs to happen for me to really expand into that high frequency and that high vibration of love and light? Because ultimately, we are here as human beings to expand our light frequency. All right. I hope this is helpful, and I hope if you're meant to hear it that you did, and that you, if you find someone or know someone who could benefit from this message, please don't hesitate to share it. All right. Be well and know that I'm sending love and light your way.